Hi, Carrie. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Very good, very good.
Good.
Are you using a green sheet for your background?
Oh, like a green sheet? No, it's just a
Ooh.
virtual background in Zoom.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you just use a swap it out the templates in Command, actually.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Monty.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Did you have a nice weekend?
An awesome weekend. We went up to North Carolina and played on Lake Hiawassee all weekend.
Oh, cool. I've only been to North Carolina like once because
Yeah.
my best friend lived up there for a time, but
Cool.
cool.
I've got quite a bit of powder covering up my sunburn.
Yeah, I can't imagine how hot it was up there.
It was hot. Give it a few more minutes to see if anybody's coming in late.
Okay.
I don't think we'll need a whole hour to go over what we need to go over today. Hey, Justin. Hey, Chelsea. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Rhiannon,
Sorry, I have my microphone on mute. I'm feeding my son and he's yelling.
Great. Yeah, no worries.
Hey there.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Awesome.
Wonderful. All right.
I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen.
Go for it.
Rhiannon and I just did our first completely green sheet free transaction this morning.
That's awesome.
No green sheets. All right, so today we are going to go over the, oops, oh, cancel. I don't want the meeting. Let me see us on a chat. Somebody's coming in. Rhiannon. Okay, today we're going to talk about how to turn your contracts in using all commands. So skipping the green sheet and using the commissions tab within opportunities. So as a little bit of a review, I'm going to start by creating an opportunity with a new client, pretend that we've just gone under contract on something, and walk it through from there to turning it into the office. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
So once you've logged into command, you're going to go to the opportunities tab, which is the handshake. And this is where you're going to see the pipeline of all of your deals. So if you have not been tracking this lead or deal to contract, we're going to be entering a new opportunity right here. So let me put you guys over there. And on this page, I'm going to create opportunity. So it's going to autofill a little bit of information for you. I'm going to pretend, just for argument's sake, that we just got a buyer under contract. So I'm going to switch from opportunity type listing to opportunity type buyer. I'm going to put myself as the client because I know that I have some information in there. So Sherry wants to make sure that your opportunity is named after your address. So always put the street address here. And then if you want to put the client name after that, that's helpful for me to have the address and the client name both there. This will help the staff, this will help the office staff identify the deal if you put the address right here, okay? So you wanna give your opportunity a name. Custom tags are used if you ever wanna sort your transactions by any way you want. So you can sort them by geography, you can sort them by type of client if you wanna keep a track of how many investor deals you've done this year, or how many single family versus condo, or any way that you wanna sort your deals, you can use a custom tag here. We do ours by geography. So we like to kind of say, show me all the deals I've done in Roswell this year. So we've created those custom tags. Estimated close date. If you're entering a contract right now, you probably have the close date. If you don't, you just want to put an estimation, and that will help you with your pipeline income estimates. Commission rate. You want to put what the MLS is paying you right there. And then what phase is this opportunity in? So phase is cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. And then the stages are underneath each phase. So as an active client, I've created the stages of tire kicking, pre-purchase, showing property, and in negotiation. So I'm going to say that I'm just negotiating this deal right now. I'm going to create the opportunity. If you're creating the opportunity early in the pipeline for a buyer, you probably won't have an address yet. So you're just going to put their name, and you can always change the name later to add the address when you turn it in. Okay. So I said I'm negotiating this deal.
Wait, oh, can I stop you for a second? Which you have to do with the buyer. In order for them to see it, you need to put the address in. So once it's under contract, you need to change it to an address.
That's right. It has to have an address in it. Yep. So once you have that address identified, and for some of us now that the inventory is so short and the market's so hot, you might be making an offer on one property and then you may end up going under contract on another property later. So you may be editing that title of that opportunity multiple times to change the address. And the way you're going to do that is when it goes under contract, you're going to hit this pencil at the top of general information. And you can edit the title right here, right? And so now let's say I've been negotiating, and so I'm going to change this opportunity phase to under contract. And I'm going to say that it's in due diligence. Okay, those are my stages. Does everybody know how to update their stages within their opportunities? Has everybody had a chance to customize those?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so there's your details of your transaction. I'm going to go over to documents, and this is where I'm going to add my purchase and sale. I'm going to add all my exhibits, my pre-qualification letter, all the documents involved in the transaction. Today's class is not about that. We've got lots of DocuSign classes and lots of opportunities classes. It's going to go through details of that. But in short, you're going to just pick that it's a residential rather than a referral deal, and that's going to give you the folders to put all your documents in. And it's going to give Sherry's list of documents that she's going to want to see if they're applicable to this deal. Okay. So you're going to take the time to go in and you're going to add these either in PDFs on your computer, or you're going to connect to your .loop or your DocuSign and bring in your documents that way. So we're going to pretend that we put all our documents in, we're ready to turn this deal in. Now, old school way, we would go over and we'd do a green sheet on my KW, right? And so now you can either do that, or you can put in a commissions tab here within command, so it's all in one place. So the first thing you need to do, you notice right here that your commissions tab is locked. So you can't do anything about commissions right now. The reason is you have to have an offer before you can complete commissions. So we're going to go over and we're going to click on offers. And you can use this offer tab to track negotiations, multiple offers. It's pretty robust as far as what you can do on the offers tab. I'm going to enter a couple of offers and show you how that works. So if I add a new offer, it's going to walk me through all the information that it needs to compare offers to each other. Okay. So you can name the offer. I usually name it after, if I'm working on a listing, the buyer name. Or let's say I've got a buyer who's making offers on multiple properties. I might put the property name here. And we're going to put what day we made the offer and what day the close date is on that offer. So you just want to kind of follow through the steps. Right here, you can select a property from KWLS. In my case, I want to show all listings, not just my listings. And you can select a property in here, and it's going to pull in from the KWLS. Okay. So we filled in the offer details. The next tab is parties. So I'm going to click next to parties. The only things that are required are the buyer name, the seller name, the buyer's agent name, and the seller's agent name. Okay, so this pulled in from KWLS, the seller's agent's name. And all we need to do is add the seller's name from the contract, okay, or the offer. Now I'm going to click next to terms. On this page, I really only like to do what's required on the parties. All right, so now this is the most information that we're going to add is the terms of the deal. So unfortunately, you can't just put sales price in here. That is not an editable field. You have to put cash and finance amount. So I'm going to put, you're going to get that by calculating it from the loan exhibit. That's the word I was looking for, loan exhibit. So if I'm, putting 450 loan and 50,000 down, that equals a sales price of 500,000. So that should match your purchase price on your contract. And these you'll calculate from your loan exhibit. Earnest money, you can enter a percentage or the total amount. So if you put the total amount, it's going to calculate that that is indeed 1% of the purchase price. So typically, I know we do earnest money amounts in round numbers. So, let's say this was like 480. That's going to make your sales price something weird. And then you put the that's actually not 500,000. That's some good earnest money. That's actually 0.94%, and that's okay. So write in your actual earnest money amount in this blank right here. Option fee is that paragraph 8B A. We don't typically use a lot of option fees in our market, but sometimes there is one in there, and that's that non-refundable earnest money that's in that paragraph 8. So leave that at 0 if it's 0. Termination option, this is just another word for due diligence. So keep in mind that this page is made for agents all over the country. So sometimes the terminology is going to be a little different than what we typically use. So termination option is just due diligence. So we're going to say in our contract that that was 10 days. And then seller will contribute either to a residential service contract, which we don't typically do in our market, but we do often have settlement costs. So seller will contribute however much to settlement costs. Any questions about any of those blanks? You can pull all of those right off your purchase and sale, right? All right, and then you're going to go to agent analysis. So if I'm just filling this out to turn in my contract, I'm not going to do any agent analysis because this is just for my eyes only. But there is a pretty cool feature that I'll show you on this offer page where you can send an analysis of, say you have multiple offers on a listing, to your client. So you may say things like highest price, quick closing, and then con might be lower down payment on this one. So maybe a different one has higher down payment.
Hey, Carrie, I know that they were talking about being able to scan in our contracts and being able to read it.
Yeah.
Do we know when that's going to happen? Because I know one agent that got 20 offers in. So
yeah,
putting 20 offers into this might be a little overkill.
It could, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know any ETA for that. Now the good news is you really only have that one tab of terms that can get kind of hairy, and I always print out that first page of every offer anyways, so you know you have them right here, and you just and I'm going to be putting them on an Excel spreadsheet anyways, so it's really not any more complicated than putting it in a spreadsheet.
You're right. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. But they do, I know that is on their pipeline to get, they would actually be reading it directly from the documents tab. So as you're uploading things in documents, which let me save this and I'll show you. If you get multiple offers, you know, we have to have record of every offer that you've taken on your listing. So
yeah, so where do you put all of that?
Yeah, if you go to the documents tab, this is a question I get all the time, so I'm glad this has come up. So here we are on the documents tab, even though this is a buyer transaction, let's pretend it's a listing transaction for just a second. If you go to the under contract folder, you can click on this under contract pull down right here, and you're going to create another version. So you say add version, and then I'm going to put like, so now I've got a Robert Jones offer. I'm going to put Robert Jones purchase and sale, exhibits, all that stuff. Then I'm going to go add a version. Create new version. Now I'm going to take that offer and I'm going to upload every document related with that offer.
So question, I get this, I get why we have to do this for a listing.
Yeah.
For a buyer, having that information in DocuSign, isn't that enough, or do we need to put it in here?
That's a question for Sherry.
Okay.
I'm not sure contractually.
I'm not either. So, all right, sorry, I just.
No, that's a good question. Make note to ask Sherry if she wants all of those in this, or if is it okay to just have it in DocuSign. I have found for buyers that I make an offer and we don't get the multiple offer, and then we make another offer and we don't get the multiple offer. I'm getting far enough along in the negotiations that I am actually putting it in here just because either I have a backup offer or for one reason or another it's official. But that's a good question. I'll ask Sherry and get back. So back to the offers tab. So we've got this one offer. I just add another offer here. I'm just going to go through it really quick. We've already kind of fill in the basics. Oops. Here we go. Dallas. They're either moving to Roswell or Dallas. And let's put in super short due diligence, 0 closing costs. So no closing costs. It's in Dallas. I don't know. All right, so quickly, I've added 2 quick fictitious offers, okay? So you can, here's my little select. I'm gonna refresh this real quick.
So Carrie, what happens if you hit that accept button?
We're about to.
Ooh, okay.
Woo, so exciting. Oh, isn't that, okay. So what I'm not seeing, so I can't show off to you guys, is there's usually a little square right here where I can select that offer or not. And once I select offers, then I can generate an offer URL, which compares them. So that's kind of weird. So maybe that only works on listings. I'll show that to you guys later. If you really want to use this to track every single movement of your whole business, right here you can click on the 3 dots and you can add a negotiation, which is how you would add a counteroffer. And so you could open up the whole history to say, oh, remember we countered this and then you countered that, and you can put it all in there, right? If you're just turning in a contract, you're probably not going to go to those links, right? You just put the deal, and then let's say we like this one better, we're going to click accept. Okay, so now we're under contract, we accepted an offer, and this commissions tab that was grayed out, all of a sudden I can click on it. Cool?
So it's only accepting it in the system. It's not alerting anybody that's been accepted.
You are absolutely correct. Yep. So you're just telling command that I accepted this offer. So for all reasonable intents and purposes, you're probably just going to type in the terms of your contract that you just accepted and then click accept, right? So now that my commissions tab is unlocked, I'm going to click on commissions. All right. So you can see that it's going to pull in from the offer that I created, the sales price, commission, close date that I entered as details. So I might have skipped the contract date, and that's required. So I'm going to go in and edit the information and put the contract date in here. Okay, so now that required information is all happy. So I'm going to double check this, that it's all right? You can change it right there if you want. Now scroll down here, you're going to have a live update of your cap status. So this is everything that I've closed. I'm 75% into my cap. And then it's going to automatically, based on the fact that I'm not capped right now, calculate my royalty and my company dollar out of that, okay? So you're going to want to go in here and make sure that the units and the gross commission, let's say you negotiated your commission a little bit to make the deal happen, right? You might go in here and you know, you can manually change it here. Or you can go down here and say, okay, I definitely want to give $20 to KW Cares. And I want to give
You want to quickly tell them why they may want to do that?
Can we tell them why they may want to do that? So KW Cares is our international KWRI charity organization. So it's tax deductible. Keep track of how much you give out of every commission, and you can write that off against your taxes. And those funds are used to help agents and their families in need. So that money has gone to hurricane victims, tornado victims, KW agents whose kids get cancer and they don't have good medical benefits, all kinds of
House fires.
Even small amounts go to just agents who are having trouble making ends meet. So KW Cares is a great organization of agents helping other agents in times of need. So,
And it is tax deductible.
it's tax deductible, absolutely. We give our E&O insurance out of our office bill, so that doesn't apply here. KW Kids Can is not tax deductible, but those dollars go towards the KW Kids Can group that does the Quantum Leap for kids. And then sometimes we run Bold scholarships. We don't have one going right now, but if you want to contribute to taking Bold in the future, you can put it here, or paying back for Bold. Sometimes different offices and regions do that, but we don't have that going on right now. And then down here, you can add extra things. So you can add an item. Is it a bonus, a concession, or a deduction? An inside referral or an outside referral. So let's just say this referral came in from your agent friend in Memphis, right? You're gonna hit outside referral. Say you're giving them 25%. Hello, I need you to write in there. Maybe I have to calculate it. Let's check real quick. It's just not letting me type in there. 530 times 0.25 or times 0.3 times 0.25.
So for those of you that are coaching with me, this is where you're going to go in and you're going to plug in and put in your 5% referral.
That's right.
It'll be a deduction, not a referral.
Yes. So this is a $39.75 referral fee. So that calculates back to the 25. It's dumb that you can't put 25 right here and just, anyways. All of these, like an outside referral is going to be going to a business. So it's going to have an EIN, and then, which is a business tax ID. And you're going to type in the tax ID number there. It's going to be what? Coldwell Banker. These fields are not typing for some reason.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah. You can also add your FMLS fee here. So your FMLS fee is a deduction. Is that right?
Yep.
No. Is it a deduction or a concession? Hold on. I think it's a concession, actually.
When I was sitting at the front desk doing like the commissions tabs last week, everyone had put in their FMLS fee as a deduction.
I think it's a concession, y'all. There's another.
Right, but I don't know.
Yeah, if you do it as a deduction, you have to have a tax ID number.
And you don't have one, yeah.
And I don't have one for FMLS. So a concession, I just put an amount, whatever it is. And then is the concession on the closing statement? Like, does FMLS go on the HUD? No. Is it off the top of your commission? No. But yes, the market center is paying, right? Because the FMLS fees goes to market center and market center makes a check.
Got it.
Okay, so there's your FMLS fee as a concession.
Okay, cool.
It sounds like it'll work as a deduction though, so if you mess it up.
That's good to know.
Good to know, right? So there we go, concession, gross commission, royalty, my company dollar, my my KW cares, and that's going to give me my net commission check, right? Now, what I think is super cool is if you scroll up here, you're going to see a live, basically this is a mini DA. So you can kind of check that the DA is right very easily because this summary is basically a DA.
Cool.
Any questions about this part right here?
Mhm.
It's easier than a green sheet, I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it looks easier.
The trick is going to be if you've got referrals, getting their EIN numbers. That's going to be the and their addresses. That's going to be the trickiest thing.
That's right. But you had to get it anyways.
Do we?
Well, usually what you did is you just got a copy of your W-9.
Right, W-9, and I guess that does have the EIN number on it. Yeah. Duh.
So you were getting it. You just weren't having to put it anywhere, right? The office kind of took care of that part for us. But now, what if you have?
I think the trickiest part is going to be forgetting FMLS fees or forgetting your coach's fee or just making sure that you've got everything in there.
I think
That's
so.
gonna be the tricky part.
Yep, I think so too. It would be nice if and when, and I've already submitted this, so I think it would be nice if Sherry could customize this for our office and put, you know, like on a green sheet, there was a blank for FMLS. So, and I,
Yeah, you had to plug in something for FMLS.
yeah. So I think, you know, a Post-it note on your desk with a list of everything that's required in a closing might not be a bad idea. So that every time you turn one in, you're like, oh yeah, put that in there. Coaching, all the things that could potentially be in a deal. You know, you could make a little Post-it note of a list. That would be helpful. So what if you have another agent in the office or another team member that you're, you know, when you would do 2 columns on a green sheet of agent A and agent B. So the way that happens is you just, right here with payment, you just add another agent. So I'm going to hit that plus of add another agent. And I can go and find any agent in our office and say, you know, she did the other side. Or if it's a team member and we're splitting the units 50-50, it's going to automatically calculate that there. Okay, so I went ahead and said Shane's getting half. And so that calculates hers. She's capped, so it already knows that, puts all that in there. And then save changes of that. Now watch what happens, because I put that I'm getting 1 unit and 11,000 and that she's getting half a unit. And so it's going to come in here right now and say, you know what, you've got half a unit too much in here. And you've got $79.50 too much commission being paid. You don't have enough commission to split that way. So I'm going to say, oh, guess what? I messed mine up. So let me edit mine and say that I am also getting half a unit. So that'll add up to 1 whole unit. She's getting half, I'm getting half.
And is that, I'm just curious, is that true on teams that you have to give them a half a unit, or do all the units go under you and then the commission goes to them?
That's how I do it. Yeah, that's how I do it. So I don't know, do we have team admins on the call? I don't know how much I want to go into that, but if I edit the agent payment, like for me, I do 1 and then hard write. Instead of hitting calculate, just type the number in there, just like you did on a green sheet. Same thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so for Shane's, I'm going to edit it. I'm going to give her 0 units, but $79.50 in commission.
Yeah.
Now, when I save that and come up here, I don't have any error messages because I only have 1 unit and I've used up exactly the whole commission. Sound good? Any questions? So when you're all done with that and you've checked that it's accurate and you've cleared out all your error message, you're going to hit this submit button. And hitting that submit button is what sends it to Sherry and alerts the office that you have a contract and you've just turned it in. Now, very important, you do not hit that submit button and also fill in a green sheet, because that throws them way off, because then they've got 2 transactions and they don't necessarily always put them together. So you need to make sure and decide which one you're going to do and just do that one, either a green sheet or a commissions tab.
And this still needs to be done within 72 hours of binding.
Correct. Within 72 hours of binding. You need to do one or the other, but not both. Cool? Isn't that so much better than a green sheet?
It is.
I think so. I love that it keeps live track of your cap. The only time you'll have to watch that is when you have multiple binding that you're turning in kind of at the same time before they close. You may cap on one and not on the rest, but that's no different than it is now. Any questions? Only a 30-minute class for a commission tab. Not bad. Any other command questions while you got me?
Well, I'll ask you something, and it may not be command related, but it's definitely contract related.
Okay.
If you know the answer. In DocuSign, if we're working with a buyer that has put in multiple different offers for different properties, how do we separate them to make them make sense? Because it's just one big jumbled mess.
It's a mess. Okay, here's what I'm doing. Let's see, let's actually go to one. Buyers.
And I guess that would be true of the listing too. If you had multiple offers and you were countering or doing different things and they're in DocuSign, you still need to keep track of it all.
Yes, yes. Okay, this one I know we made multiple offers. Okay, so if I go to documents and then I open my DocuSign,
And Carrie, this class is being recorded and will be posted on our quantrain.com for people to go back and use as a resource, correct?
sure will. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep, go to quantrain.com, K-W-A-N-R-A-I-N.com. Okay, so this buyer has made offers on several properties, and you can see I've got a folder for this Roswell Road unit, a folder for Henderson Mill unit, and then the other one is just called Room Docs. So if this Roswell Road one doesn't work out, oh, for crying out loud, I just closed my entire Google Chrome. Hold on. Accidentally hit that X there. Try again.
I saw that there was a folder option, but I couldn't figure out how to put it in there, and it was just a mess, so I just didn't, I left it alone.
There's 2 things that I think are going to help you, 2 tips that I've kind of put into my standard practices. One is to create folders. The other is, I think something that is messing people up is you can only have one purchase and sale document in your documents, which is really throwing people off. And I get that. It's kind of, I would tip normally create a whole new purchase and sale for a new property, right? That would be my instinct, I guess. But if you just move that purchase and sale that you already filled out for the first offer up to your new folder, you can edit it and you're not losing the copy of the old contract because you've already put that old contract into an envelope and signed it, and you have the PDF and the signed version of that original offer. And so you can go ahead and move that purchase and sale and edit it and not really lose any data. I'm going to show you. If I go to my, like the worst possible times, X out of all of my Chrome.
You just showed that none of us are perfect. That's all, Carrie.
Y'all already knew I wasn't perfect. Come on.
I don't know about that. We think you're pretty awesome.
Rhiannon can tell you I mess stuff up all the time. She used to go behind me and fix it.
By the way, I'm loving her friend's backdrop. That's
Isn't that
totally
cute?
cool. It's adorable.
All right, here we go. Rhiannon, what was it I did over the weekend? I sent the other agent a totally blank purchase and sale instead of a,
Yes.
I just walked away. All right. Okay, so let's just pretend that this 5147 doesn't work out. So I'm going to go and add, click on add. No, it's not click on add. It's
It's the dot, the 3 dots.
there we go. Thank you. All right, 3 dots up here.
Yeah, I know where it is. I just don't know how to do it.
No, it's not those 3 dots. Oh, it's actions. 3 dot
Action.
action. Add folder. All right, so I'm going to say new condo offer, whatever the address is going to be, and I'm going to create that. So then that's going to be an empty folder up here at the top. So I'm going to take the forms from the last offer and I'm going to drag them up here. Go up there. Go on up there. So it turns blue when you get over it. I grab this purchase and sale and I drag it up here. Get on there. Come on. Maybe your face is in my way. Hold on.
Doesn't that circle with the cancel sign means you can't move it?
It means it's not where it can be dropped. So it's like it's not lining up. But yes, it means that I'm not getting it in the right place. And somehow I have like all of this selected, which I don't want. And I think I'm trying to move faster than my internet is one problem.
So from you moving these, you can't just click on those boxes to the far, or the circles to the far left, and then drag them together, right?
You can do that. This is being super unresponsive.
But that's how you add it to there, is you drag them up.
You drag them up.
And
So
then once you drag them up, then you would edit them because they will have the old information in them.
Mm-hmm.
But does it keep a copy in, oh, because you already have the signed ones from the old one.
I already have the signed ones from the old one.
And when you add a document, will it automatically add it into that folder? Because that's not what was happening to mine. Mine was going into the room docs 21, and then they were stuck there.
Yep. So it goes into the room docs, and then you have to drag it up.
And you drag it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. That's what I've been doing. So, I don't know why it's.
Play with it.
I know. I don't know.
I was frustrated one night.
I'm getting really frustrated right now.
Mm-hmm. It could be because you're on Zoom, so it's not cooperating.
It's not very responsive anyways, and then being on Zoom, I think it's being extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I've been doing to organize it when I've got multiple things going on.
Okay.
And like once this purchase and sale and all of this is signed, then I'm gonna have the ones that are these that are signed documents. So I've got that copy that will stay forever for that offer. And once I move to my next property or my next offer, I can just take those same docs and edit them. And I found that to be pretty easy because it's already got the client's info. It's already got, you know, what their loan terms are. And all you really have to do is change the MLS, tax ID.
Yeah, as long as you haven't put that information in the details, then you're okay.
What's interesting is once you change it in the new purchase and sale, it updates the details.
It does?
It does. So I have found on the new offer, I update everything, and it's going to be a new offer date because now a week later or whatever. And then I go and get into the exhibits, and they're all updated already because the details changed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I hadn't noticed that mine were doing that. I'll have to look and see.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's more responsive than I give it credit for.
Yeah, it's got quirks. But when
Like
you
everything.
it works, right?
Yes. Oh, look at that rhyme. She's a poet. I know it.
Here's my new slogan.
Oh, you remember that, right? She's a poet. She don't know it because her feet's are long, fellows. Ooh.
Boo. Okay, what else? Is everybody still with us?
Yeah, I've been hogging all the time.
That's
But I
okay.
think it's important information for them as well.
You've asked good questions that I'm sure everybody else had.
All right, who else overwhelmed?
Good? I see an okay? Everybody good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. What's our next class? Next week, I'm teaching something.
We have, let's see, on, we've got how to read stats, coming up and understand the stats. We've got Taylor Ingram doing her social media, which is awesome.
Nice.
And we've got a DocuSign templates class coming up on the 27th. So we've got some good stuff coming up. And we also have Kevin with his, isn't that this week or was that last week? It is this week, right?
On Thursday.
Thursday, right. Kevin's doing his command. So if you're getting into this and you're struggling a little bit, Kevin will be there with a beverage, and you're welcome to join him and get all your questions answered.
Yeah.
Command.
I would say it goes a lot like the last 15 minutes of this class went, of like, you know what? I'm having a hard time with this. Well, this is how we've done it. So
Yeah. It works out great.
sure does. All right, you guys.
Thank you.
Go write some
Thank you again.
contracts and do your commissions tabs.
Yes. Thank you, Carrie. We appreciate it.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.